Looking up at the sky and noticing dense clouds, like a warning that something grand and powerful is forming on the horizon, is an experience that captures the imagination. Hurricanes are far from ordinary storms. They are nature's wild dance between heat and humidity. When these colossal forces meet, they create something extraordinary, reshaping entire landscapes within hours. And honestly, it's impossible not to be awestruck by the devastating impact these giants can have. Have you ever wondered what you would do if you were in the path of one? It's fascinating how the heat of tropical oceans becomes the fuel for these titanic storms. Every drop of warm water that evaporates contributes to a system so immense that it can span hundreds of kilometers. This combination of heat and moisture not only generates powerful winds, but also produces torrential rains, turning any area into a chaotic scene. Despite this knowledge, humanity continues to challenge the forces of nature. But do we really understand enough about these giants? Here comes an intriguing question. How do these monsters know exactly where to strike? It seems like magic, but it's pure science. The perfect conditions for a hurricane arise in specific regions of the globe, almost as if the ocean has its own plans. The tropics, for example, are the cradle of these storms due to their warm waters and humid air. Even so, unpredictability remains the greatest challenge. And do you know what's even scarier? Even experts, with all their advanced technology, still struggle to predict exactly how strong a hurricane will be. Have you ever noticed how we tend to forget the power nature holds? Perhaps it's because we've grown so accustomed to our artificial control over the world. Hurricanes are the perfect reminder that we are at the mercy of something much greater. These monsters don't ask for permission. They simply arrive, transform everything, and leave deep scars. It's the kind of force that challenges our notions of security, but at the same time, teaches us to look at the sky with renewed respect. Behind the grandeur of a hurricane lies a complex choreography, guided by the laws of physics and the energy that only tropical oceans can provide. It all begins with the heat from the ocean's surface, which warms the air above it, causing the air to rise like a balloon at a birthday party. As the air ascends, the vapor condenses, releasing even more heat. It's almost like a self-sustaining engine. And so, the storm begins to take on a life of its own, spinning continuously. But did you know that not just any place can create a hurricane? It takes more than heat and water. The Earth's rotation plays an essential role in the spectacle. The Coriolis effect, as it's called, causes the winds to curve and begin spiraling. It's as if the Earth gives the initial push to set the show in motion. Without it, a hurricane would just be a mass of clouds and aimless winds. Fascinating, isn't it? Here's another impressive detail. These climate giants have an insatiable appetite. They consume enormous amounts of ocean energy, transforming it into brute force. To put it into perspective, an average hurricane can release energy equivalent to 10 nuclear bombs per second. It's terrifying to think about the magnitude of this power. Yet, at the same time, this force can be used to learn more about the climate and improve our ability to predict it. So, the question remains, how can we truly understand something so immense? The answer lies in science. By studying the formation of these phenomena, we can anticipate their movements and protect entire communities. But we are still far from deciphering all their secrets. It's almost as if nature wants to remind us that no matter how far we advance, it will always have some cards up its sleeve. At the heart of all this chaotic storm, there's a region that seems to defy logic, the eye of the hurricane. There, in the center of fierce winds and torrential rains, nature creates a small sanctuary of calm. It's like finding peace amidst chaos, but don't be fooled. This tranquility is just a strategic pause in the spectacle. Warm air rises along the edges of the hurricane and moves away from the center, leaving behind an area of almost surreal low pressure. Now, imagine being in the middle of it. In the eye of the hurricane, the sky can even seem clear, with glimpses of blue, while everything around is pure destruction. This region is so enigmatic that many risk exploring it, from scientists to storm chasers. And honestly, it's not for everyone. Only those with nerves of steel take on the challenge of crossing the eye's walls, where winds reach absurd speeds. What makes the eye even more intriguing is the wall surrounding it. This is the zone of greatest hurricane intensity, where the strength of the winds and rains concentrate like a true fortress. Entering or exiting the eye is like crossing a storm in slow motion, something as fascinating as it is terrifying. Even with all modern technology, fully understanding this mechanism remains a great mystery for science. In the end, the eye of a hurricane is like an invitation to reflect on nature's paradoxes. How can something so violent hide such serenity? This question drives us to explore further, diving into secrets that science has yet to fully uncover. And of course, if you're as fascinated as I am, it's worth following those who risk everything to seek these answers. Few people in the world have the courage or the audacity to fly directly into the eye of a hurricane. These explorers, known as storm chasers, face winds exceeding 200 kilometers per hour and near zero visibility to collect valuable information. Imagine the tension of crossing the hurricane's wall, where every second is a battle against nature's force. They don't do it for the adrenaline rush or maybe just a little. They do it to save lives. These missions are equipped with state-of-the-art technology. Reinforced aircraft collect critical data such as wind speed, atmospheric pressure, and humidity levels, which are transmitted in real time to meteorologists. This work not only helps predict the storm's behavior, but also allows for issuing alerts and evacuating populations at risk. Have you ever thought about how something so risky can be so essential for the safety of thousands of people? Despite the dangers, these explorers are driven by curiosity and the desire to understand the unknown. They know that every piece of data collected can improve our understanding of hurricanes and, who knows, one day give us tools to face these storms more effectively. And let's be honest, there's something almost poetic about confronting one of nature's most powerful phenomena head-on. But, of course, it's not all science. These flights are also a testament to courage and dedication. They show that, no matter how destructive a hurricane may be, the human spirit is even stronger and more determined. And here lies the suspense. Will we ever be able to fully conquer the force of these giants? Or will they continue to challenge us with their mysteries? Although hurricanes, typhoons, and tropical cyclones are essentially the same phenomenon, their names change depending on where they originate. It's a curious but practical distinction. Hurricanes, for instance, form in the North Atlantic and Northeastern Pacific, while typhoons dominate the Northwestern Pacific, affecting regions like Japan and the Philippines. Tropical cyclones, on the other hand, occur in the Indian Ocean and the South Pacific. Isn't it fascinating how the same storm can have different personalities depending on its location? The choice of names is equally intriguing. Since 1953, the World Meteorological Organization has maintained rotating lists of names to make each storm easy to identify and communicate about. When a hurricane becomes particularly devastating, like Katrina or Haiyan, its name is retired and replaced with another. It's a way of honoring the memories and losses these storms leave behind. And there's more. These names are chosen to avoid confusion during emergencies. Imagine the chaos if two storms in the same region had similar names. Additionally, familiar names help alert populations to danger. After all, who forgets a name like Sandy or Irma? This humanization of storms has a powerful psychological purpose, making them more relatable and memorable. This global naming system reflects how the world tries to unite in the face of such destructive natural forces. It's like having a universal language to address these threats. Yet, there's still much to explore about the impact these names have on people and how we perceive hurricanes. Have you ever stopped to think about that? The numbers behind a hurricane are both terrifying and deeply revealing. Imagine winds surpassing 200 kilometers per hour, tearing through everything in their path with a force that defies comprehension. These figures aren't just statistics. They're manifestations of a power that few natural phenomena can match. It's as though nature has its own way of reminding us who's really in charge on this planet. The Coriolis effect is another number-based phenomenon that fascinates. While not something visible to the naked eye, it's responsible for the characteristic spin of hurricanes. The Earth's rotation creates this force, giving life to the swirling motion of storms. Without this seemingly small global factor, hurricanes simply wouldn't exist. Isn't it remarkable how something so subtle on a planetary scale can be so crucial to these giants? And let's not forget about ocean temperatures. For a hurricane to form, the sea surface temperature needs to be warm, typically above 26 degrees Celsius. This heat acts as fuel, transforming a simple cluster of clouds into an epic storm. The warmer the water, the stronger the hurricane. This explains why climate change plays such a significant role in the increasing frequency and intensity of these storms. These numbers aren't just technical data. They're stories waiting to be told. Each one reveals a different aspect of hurricane behavior, helping us understand how they function and what we can do to protect ourselves. But they also pose another question. Are we truly prepared to face a future where these numbers continue to grow?